Welcome back, and let's continue where we left. And we've tapered this one at the bottom end here, which is 5 meters. And we'll go to the second one. So I'm going to select this. And remember, the bottom end here, now we'll start from 500, and the V shape or the top end will give it a different height. Now, let me select, I've selected on that, and I'm going to double click on this to include it in this selection. So once I've double clicked on that, I'll wait for the editor dialog box for these two members. So in here, I'm going to select on this I-beam section here. So this will take me to a profile name is not formatted. So just go ahead and click OK. So that should not worry you. Just click OK. So in here we have some details that we want to dispose. So in this particular case, we want to clear everything here. So once you're here, and we've clicked on this, we've picked on the final section of the column. So remember, the top end for the bottom one, the top end here was 500, the bottom was 400. So let's switch back and change the same thing here. This will be 500, is beginning from there where the bottom ended. So I'm feeding here 500, and at the top this will taper at that height of 600, which is end. I'll just key in there. So the rest I'll just retain them as they are. But always remember, on the type, make sure the type of the beam is selected, and the next, just put in a relative length. But we have already predetermined height here, so this will not change this. This just to indicate that we are operating within some dimensions. So once I've done so, I'm going to click add. So if I click on add, I'll be able to have this added to my dialog box as a property of this particular member. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select, click select tapered member. So once I've done so, I'll go ahead, and you can see that profile name has been identified as all that details. There's so many numbers there. So remember, it's us who made that. So you shouldn't be scared of the long description of this particular member. So I'm going to click apply. So the moment I click apply, you'll see immediate changes taking place. You can see it's a taper, and it's a taper, and we are taking shape with everything, and you can see it has connected nicely. And if you come at the bottom end here, we have that in place. So we have that in place. So let's go to the rafters. So the rafters, since the size is the same, I'm going to taper this. So this will start from this particular end going this way. So this end will be bigger than this end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select that and come here and select that. And remember, our selection will begin from that spot, and come here and double click on this. This will bring in the dialog box. So from the dialog box, we'll be able to feed in our required customization that will help us in creating a tapered frame. So in here, we'll go, as usual, we go to click on that section, and we'll get a warning here. Profile name is not in the expected format. So I'll click OK. I'll clear that. So once I've cleared that, so we'll begin from here. So the start will be slightly bigger because the top one was 600. So this will be slightly smaller. So we can make that 400 or 500. Or we can just leave it as it is. You can just make it 500. Will be okay. Make it 500 like that. So once we've done so, I'll go ahead and click add section. So if I add section, I'll have these details in place. So I'm going to click select tapered member. I click on that and come here and click apply and give it an OK. So you can take a look here. I have this tapered already in place, but slightly I'm going offset. I'm offsetting from the rest of the members, so that should not worry you. So this will remain the same because it is not tapered. So I'll select this and double click on this So once I've done so, I want to change this to 500. Let me just give it some time to bring it the dialog box here. So in here, just type IPE 500 and click apply and give it an OK. So once we're here, I'll just bring it down or press Control W and try if you can bring it down, and that will not bring it down. And as the best way we can. So I'll right click and come to move, and I'll just come and snap right on the top at the edge here, and just give some time to snap on that spot. This and bring it somewhere there. Let me just bring it and connect to that. So there we are, and it's not accurate as it should be. So what we are going to do, I'm going to double click on it. So there's something wrong with this. So, and that must be rectified. And if I turn it around like this, you can see the slight offset from this far end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just undo everything, and once I've done so, I'm going to just select that and select this, double click on that. So I want just to make it as uh, a tapered member, but all of them will be the same. There will be no taper, but I'll just edit it or customize it as an edit as a tapered member. So let me just give some time to bring it up. So if I come to this and come to taper, so in here I'm going to change everything to 5 because this far end is 5. So let me first of all clear the current details here and change this to 5 millimeter. And this is what we have. And I'll go ahead and click Add Section and click Select Tapered Member. Click OK. Then click. You can see the details we have there, and click Apply and give it an OK right there. So this one we will have retained the details or the properties similar to this. So the size will be the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click and come to move, and just mouse over the edge here, or just take the measurement from here to here, then give it an offset downward. That's also accurate, but let me just mouse over on that spot because this to me look much simpler. And if I mouse over on this, give some time and click on that spot, I'll be able to see I have that meshed properly with this one. You can see this one also has meshed properly well, and nothing has been left out. But slightly, there's a slight mistake right there because that one is not coming out nicely. So let me just click on that, right click, and come to move and bring it down from that spot. Let me just mouse over on that edge and snap on that spot and bring it on top of this one here. So that one meshes nicely or connects nicely or accurately. So let me just come here and do a similar thing. Select on that and come here and just snap on the edge here. Let me just snap on the edge and give it some time, snap on that spot and snap on top here. So the same thing, you can you take the measurement, compare the measurement, then drop it down the same measurement to measure this. So we have that in place. So we have the same thing, we have to do the same thing here. So what do? We'll come here and select on this, and also press Control and double click on the last one. And we give some time to bring the dialog box, and we have that in place. So the next thing, I'm going to click on that section and click OK, and I'll clear the current measurements or descriptions of tapered members. So from this will be, from this end will be 500, and the other end will be 600. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to retain this start at 500, and this one will be 600. Let me just key in 600 there. So once I've done so, I'm going to add that section And once I've added that section here, I'm going to click select tapered member and click apply. So the moment I click apply, give it an OK, and you can see we have these members tapered. So the next thing, I'm going to just have an elevation of this. Just double click on the view from line A, and we can see we have this in place, but it's not straight as it should be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch back to where I was, and I want to add more details here. Select on that and double click on the last one, and instead of 600 we want to make it a little bit bigger. And from here I want to come to I section there and click OK, and I want to first of all, let me just clear this. Let me just clear that, and I'll come here, and instead of 6 I'll add 7. So I add this section, and I'll click select and I click apply. So that will change. So that will change as it is, but still not the way I expect it to be. So I'll right click and come to spatial move, and I want to bring it slightly upward. So I'll mouse over that and bring it somewhere there, and bring it right at the edge there, and check that. Let me go there at the end and check that whether it's meshing properly. So it's properly meshing on the other end. Right click and come to interrupt. We want to get out of that command and click interrupt. Let me just switch to view line A. So in here we have this in place, but still I need this line to be somehow straight like this. So we can go further and readjust it to make it approximately 800 instead of 700. So let's switch back to 3D view right there. So we've gone past our limit time. So don't worry about that. I select on that, double click on this, and I want to readjust so that at the apex here we have somehow a straight line, not somehow curved like it is now. Let me just go back to section and click OK, and I clear everything. And in here I want to give it to 800 at the end, and click select that, apply, and I'll click apply and give it an OK. And there we are. So let me just switch back to view line A, and approximately you can just leave it at it is here where it is. So let's switch back to 3D. So this is how we create that. So the key thing we don't ever forget is saving your work. Let me save that job, and now the next thing we'll be going to do, the next presentation, is creating connection, connecting that to that, connecting that to that. And let's meet then on the next presentation. Bye bye, and sorry for extending further our minutes by 3 minutes instead of 10. Let's meet then. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is Morris Jimba, and let's meet then.